All right, welcome back, everybody. We've got Super Metroid Subversion ROM hack. We got run by SeanCass, so I'll take it away.
Hey everyone, I'm SeanCass. I'm joined here with Ajder.
Hello.
And we're gonna be playing Super Metroid Subversion. I'll get started and we can start talking about the game at that point. 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, so this is a fairly recent ROM hack that came out after about 7 years of dev work by Test Runner and Amoeba of Doom. It came out in August of 2022, and it's had a pretty good speedrunning scene since it came out. Lots of interesting tech specific to this hack. So we start in an area called the spaceport. It's kind of an off-planet area, kind of the series equivalent, and the gravity is actually a little bit lower here than normal. Most of the game will be played with normal gravity, but in this area it's a little bit lower than normal. And we're coming up into the room called Compartments. This is legit one of the hardest rooms in the game.
I already messed it up. Lots of lag, lots of precise shots.
Yeah, it's pretty punishing to fall too. So we're making our way over here. This section, it's called the cargo ship, and we're just going to get missiles here. Nice down back to weave the platform without landing on it.
Try door check the item and.
Yeah, there's a lot of Super Metroid speedruns that are going to come up that we won't really have time to explain, but it's a very rich speed game.
You did see Strizer play this last game over Cancer, I believe? The Strizer?
Yeah. I don't remember what skips were being done at that point. I'm pretty sure laser skip was in, but I can't remember if there were other things there. I think he had to get Dark Visor.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's some new tech since then. It's pretty cool stuff. So yeah, that was so the spaceport kind of has two wings. There's two other entities docked on it. To the left was the cargo ship that we just got missiles from. That'll come into play again quite a bit later. Now we're on our way to the right side, which has the GFS Daphne, which is and we're gonna stop here at the gantry to get this optional ammo pack. This is going to help a lot with early game ammo situations. And this hack is one that has universal ammo, so all the types of ammo, missiles, supers, and firebombs will consume ammo from the same pool.
Speaking of universal ammo, do you have a quick moment for a donation?
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right, we got a $50 donation from Tracy M saying, "Good luck, Sean."
Hey, thanks.
Hey, thank you, Tracy.
Tracy joined me in commentating Ajder's run at the most recent No Reset.
Yeah, it was a good time. We're also popping in the weapon locker for this ammo tank. So yeah, the GFS Daphne is a Galactic Federation ship that was stolen by the space pirates because it has weapons of mass destruction that'll be important for the plot later. So we're supposed to visit the Mother Brain equivalent called the Aurora unit here, but we're going to skip it with a gate glitch. This gate glitch is really interesting because normally in Super Metroid you're not supposed to be able to glitch gates with the button on the right side. But here we're able to do it because the gates in Subversion are made, they're accidentally made with a different type of collision than they are in vanilla, and it actually lets beam shots sneak through them more easily. So we have Series Ridley in the fueling port here, and you have to get below 30 health like in the vanilla game. A bit of a twist with how the fight works. You can see he's invulnerable. And instead of just flying away, he actually picks you up and throws you out the airlock.
Oh no.
we're gonna have a little free fall section where you fall onto the planet TN578. And the plot of this game is basically there's a pirate research lab on the planet researching weapons that we need to destroy. They're researching weapons combining Metroids with a mineral native to this planet called Verdite, a green radioactive mineral, and we'll see some of that stuff actually in action later. And he also noticed the gravity is very heavy on this planet. There's a logbook in this game that describes all the lore that's going on. This planet just has very, very heavy gravity. It's like much worse than redesign physics, so we're gonna have to tolerate that for a short while until we figure out a solution to that. A sunken nest, kind of an annoying room sometimes with the having to kill these key hunters here and dealing with the gravity and the rising tide. And in Ocean Shore, we're gonna be trying for a mock ball through the water. Okay, nice. It's really good to get this mock ball. It saves a lot of time rolling through the water here.
Yeah, I noticed if you do that one, if you jump from the flat and land on the flat, it's a lot easier to get that knock ball than anything else I've tried, at least. First custom item coming up here. And it's a doozy.
Yeah. So this item he's about to pick up is called the Gravity Boots, and it basically restores normal gravity. So now the physics are going to be the exact same that you would have in vanilla Super Metroid. It's kind of a cool way to like address the lore aspect, and it seems like it's not much more than that, but the really, really big thing with Gravity Boots being an item is that you can turn it off, and that's going to come into play with some of the tech that's specific to this ROM hack. But for now, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say there's really only one intended purpose that I can think of in the game to turn it back off, and it's like a puzzle, because most people get this item and just completely forget that it exists. And so they get to that puzzle and they have no idea what to do. They know they need to fall faster, but they don't know how to do it without moonfalling. And just rubble blocks away, preventing them from easily moonfalling, and they're, immediately assuming they shouldn't have to moonfall. That's, tech and not an intended mechanic. But yeah, we're going to make much more use of Gravity Boots than that.
I think you're actually going to be doing that puzzle in the run.
Yeah, that's true. Yep. We'll be getting there later.
So now that we have Gravity Boots, we're able to get out of the ocean, and we're going into kind of the central, like, kind of hub-ish area of the planet called the Volner Caves. The name Volner refers to a giant volcano throughout the planet, and this is basically like one of the middle, like, sort of subterranean sections of it, but not very far down, so not in hot areas or anything right now, but get to that later. There are these little green, weird, Zebetite-like looking things that take 3 missiles. Luckily, the fire fleas here drop a near guaranteed 10 ammo. So we're just going to be getting a couple of items here. First up, this room's called Way of the Watcher, and it's there's an optional kill everything aspect to this room with some timed gates and a lot of lag for some items that we won't be getting. But even just like getting through the Zebetites, it's just dealing with the lag is difficult enough.
Yeah, I definitely had a little
jump scare.
Oh, for sure. Oh, I forget to
Jump scare side hoppers. And we're getting the speedball here. This is sort of customish. This does function like the spring ball as well, but you're able to actually run as a ball with this item. And you also get free like actual speedball with it if you have Speed Booster. Secret shot block into crumbles here to be able to skip the Zepatites on the way back down. And we're just getting some extra ammo in here.
Oh, I almost got the jump.
Oh yeah, you can if you do it right, you can bounce like right over that gap. Got it on the way out. That's nice.
Lag of the Watcher. Yep. Oh geez, I fell all the way down. Nice.
Nice cargoing the cargo.
Okay, that was like
Nice.
that bird scares me every single time because if you mess it up, it's awful. Falling in the water. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it looks so cool if you can get it though.
No, I'm getting bullied.
The stream kind of sucks.
It's one of those. There's a lot of rooms in this game where if you make one mistake, the whole thing kind of crumbles.
Yeah, this stream is another one of those too. Yeah, there's a crumbles at the bottom, so you fall into a big pit of water if you fall through. So we're at 30 ammo right now, and coming up is one of the, I guess, many reasons that ammo is at a huge premium early game. We've got bombs at Vanilla Bomb Chorizo.
Yeah, Vanilla Bomb Chorizo.
Nothing too special.
I mean, he's in the middle of the room instead of at the end. It's a little different.
You have a bigger space to fight it in. So it's got vanilla health. It takes 8 missiles to defeat.
Hey, the door's not opening. Oh.
Oh no! Now there's 2 more of them.
But wait, there's more.
I think I might have joked and called it Billy Mays Chorizo at one point. I can't remember. But yeah, you have to. The ammo management is a bit tough during this fight. We did manage to get some drops that we needed to kill the 3rd one. And yeah, we wanted to make sure to have good ammo on the way out as well.
Yeah, the drop spreads are like really erratic for that. There's no good, clean like jump you can do to make sure you have good resources leaving.
The really messy thing is that Bomb Chorizo has like the crescent attack that it'll do, and the trigger for that is having 5 or more current missiles or ammo, and like you don't see that attack very much in vanilla because you're only typically going into that fight with 5 missiles anyways. But here, like the thing with the crescent attack is you cannot farm during it. That makes the ammo situation more difficult. So here we're going to be getting an optional hidden item.
The unknown item.
Unknown item. I wonder what it could be. It definitely has a familiar icon.
No.
But that is okay, we didn't fall into immersion pool. But that item will provide a bit of extra comfort later. Maybe open up a few more strats too. But I know some 80% runners don't get it. So that's the first speedball check in the game. You're supposed to have it to cross that crumble bridge. We're detouring for another ammo pack here. So we are about to enter the aforementioned pirate lab that we were supposed to be destroying. And we'll be here for a couple of majors, and then we'll just have to leave again and come back later. The two majors here, there is an intended order for them, and it's about like a second difference, which of the two is faster. Sean is going to be so there's high jump, and there's basically the gravity suit equivalent of this hack, which is called aqua suit in this. Sean is going to go unintendedly get aqua suit first, unintended in a casual sense, and that was a very nice gravity jump through the door that you need to get into that gap. You need to jump through the door just like that to get up there without high jump. So that actually, if he didn't do that jump correctly, you'd have had to reset the room. This is the hydrology gauntlet. And you're supposed to have high jump across this particular part, but you can... there's a secret tunnel through that lets you do it without high jump. That is a very missile-intensive part. You need to kill 8 pirates, taking a total of 24 missiles, and they do not drop anything. So that's why early game ammo is so important.
Overall, pretty good.
Yeah. So you got the aqua suit here. A bit of a subversion, not getting the Varia suit first. Roll credits. I'm sorry. So it differs from gravity suit a little. Since it's the first suit, it's obviously not supposed to be too powerful. It lets you move freely in water as normal. The damage reduction is only 25%. So you got to be careful not to go crazy with tanking enemies just because Samus looks purple. And we are picking up the high jump boots second. So doing it this way is a little bit faster, just a little bit more difficult and risky. But it's ultimately runner preference whether you get high jump first, as you're intended to in a casual playthrough, or whether you get aqua suit first.
Yeah, I just learned it that way, so I do it that way. Plus, I kind of like that last room before aqua suit without high jump. Shoot the floor.
Oh, nice! You got the hole in one.
I did the thing. You love to see it.
So we're just heading back through Vulner Caves to go back to the ocean. Now that we have aqua suit, we can explore that area a little bit more. We're supposed to... the first thing that you're supposed to do upon returning to the ocean is fight Kraid for a new custom item, which is actually the Dark Visor from Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. And it's supposed to be hard required, but we are going to skip it with some glitches. And first, we're going to grab this E-Tank. So instead of getting Dark Visor, we're going to be getting the next item in the chain early, which is Super Missiles. Classic or ROM hack. Any rendition of Super Metroid just naturally has to have some way to get early Super Missiles. So, but we are going to use some tech that's kind of specific to this hack, called the Gravity Boots Super Sync. So Super Sync is a complicated trick that does exist in vanilla, but needs like a very specific kind of swing with the grapple beam to do it, and it's not humanly viable. But basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting a glitch state called Slope Killer by doing a pixel perfect unmorph onto the... Oh wait, no, sorry, you don't do this here. My bad.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Sean does a different method for this than I do, so I
made
confused.
it, but I got an extra
that
spin ball jump.
That was sick. Okay, so the super sync will come into play later. What we're actually going to do here is he's going to try and pause on the same frame as inputting a jump with the gravity boots off, and he's going to turn them back on during this fall, and it's going to set his fall speed such that it clips through this door from this height. And that gets you through a green door, gets you to this area a bit earlier than you're supposed to. And we'll be able to access where super missiles are from here. Now, the glitch I was mentioning, the super sync, we are actually going to get one of those coming up. Pit stop here for an E-tank. And we're also going to be heading through some dark rooms, which we're supposed to have the dark visor to use as night vision. But basically, to get a super sync, you have to get a glitch state called Slope Killer, where you I'll explain that later, actually, because we're able to get it very easily by getting stuck in the door here. But what he's going to do is he's going to turn gravity boots off, do a turnaround, and then turn it on again, and this tricks the game into bypassing the fall speed cap. The Slope Killer glitch lets you increase your fall speed by doing turnarounds, and by breaking the fall speed cap, we can just fall through the floor. So we've got super missiles now. That was a relatively minor skip that we did with the super sync here. This skips a dangerous puzzle room called Ocean Vent, where you discover that you're not immune to lava, like Gravity Suit would normally make you. Lava does a ton of damage in this game, and it's a pretty scary room. So nice to be able to skip it. Now we gotta fumble our way through the dark on the way back.
Yeah, I do something really like simplified and definitely not the fastest thing either, just to limit the chance of error. These rooms are deceivingly tough as well. Oh, that's...
Yeah, you gotta make sure not to. Oh my goodness, I feel like I almost jinxed it.
I feel like I
Really
almost
gotta
jinxed
not
myself
fall through
there.
this thing here. Yeah, so we're on our way to the next item in the sequence at Spore Field. Two guesses as to what the boss there is.
There's going to be a lot more dark rooms as well.
Yeah, I think they're not as bad as the Ocean Depths dark rooms, but still to be contended with.
Yeah.
So to explain, try to explain Super Sync a bit more, one of the components to it is a glitch called Slope Killer, and that is normally achieved by doing a pixel perfect unmorph onto the ground. And because it's pixel perfect and not just frame perfect, you need to have specific height interval setups that work for it. Luckily with high jump boots, we have a lot of normalized setups that'll actually give you a legit shot to have a one frame window at the trick. Basically, Slope Killer is just a storing of Samus's vertical speed, and that's why we're able to build up fall speed and clip through the floor with it. Spore Field, we're entering the unintended way. We're going to do another right side beam gate glitch, the type that would normally not be possible in vanilla. Very nice.
Yeah, I was lucky to get a second try.
So this skips another bit of a runaround and another dark visor check, actually. So the dark visor that we're not getting lets you see invisible switches, turns the whole screen red, just like Prime 2. And it is actually hard required to possess the item in your inventory to be able to hit these switches. And that's just because it'd be too easy to hit them by accident and get lost for a casual player if it wasn't hard required. So you have to skip the switches through other means. Right here we've got a Spore Spawn fight with Mega Man blocks in the dark. Vanilla Spore Spawn health, but I think like 90% of people that I talk to who play this hack detest this fight. Got the 2 super opener for the 2 round. It's a lot more difficult in these conditions, and we want to get a 1 missile 1 super on the 2nd round.
Ah, I barely whiffed.
So close.
It's alright, 3 rounds is better than 4.
Yeah, and messing up the fight at the end is much better than messing it up at the start. If you mess up at the start, then you just like... It becomes very inconsistent where Spore Spawn starts opening up. It's very hard to deal with.
Let me up.
So we get Wave Beam for this, and this is the first actual beam upgrade we get. The damage tables and stuff work a bit differently in this hack. So your power beam starts at 30 damage instead of 20, and each extra beam that you have equipped adds 10 damage to it. And then to further increase the damage, there are custom items in this hack called damage amps that we will actually not be getting any of because of there's a reason we don't end up getting any of them, because of the way that we end up doing the final boss fight. We'll be operating with a pretty low damage beam throughout the whole hack. So Wave Beam, there's a few gates and stuff along the path that we need it for, which could be skipped with some like really janky shenanigans, but you'd have to take a much different path, and it's much better to just have the beam. And we're heading into the cellar, which is has invisible crabs. You're supposed to use the dark visor to see them, but we do not have it. So Sean is going to do a setup, basically, of knowing where the crabs are going to be in the room relative to when he enters it. Killing all 6 of them. Yeah. I think he missed the 4th or 5th one.
The final 2, I just kind of messed up.
Yeah.
I whiffed a super, and luckily I knew where they would be if that happens.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
This is Epiphragmatic Crag, hardest room in the game to pronounce. It was also the navigating the room is also as confusing as the name. The E-tank here is nice. There's a bunch of shortcuts through this room that are available later with like a whole bunch of different sets of items.
I mean, you have to go out of your way and fight Kraid, and so the combination of those 2 things, yeah, I would say minutes.
Yeah. I think I know Kevnastix in chat is not a Moonfaller, and neither are Sean and I, so you can definitely do this run without using Moonfall. That is a nice strat for a containment area. I was not aware of that one.
Yeah, you just have to get like a late jump in the door. I'm gonna grab this ammo as well. I don't think many other any percent runners are doing that, but I've just found that this is like the perfect amount. Like, grabbing this to not have to worry at all later for probably the biggest ammo thing in the game. At like pretty much the very end.
Yeah, any percent gets pretty tight on ammo later. It ends up being very useful.
Got a quick moment for a donation?
Yeah.
We received a $10 donation from Pidge saying, "I love SeanCass."
Thanks, Pidge.
Thank you.
Nice.
Wow, the key hunters actually died to the missiles instead of the wings blocking the shot. So we're now entering an area called Life Temple, which has the best soundtrack in the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, if you like the Castlevania track earlier, this one's also a banger.
So we are here to get speed booster and space jump.
I go this way.
so we're-
I'm scared of the hopper nest.
Yeah. Yeah, the hopper nest is a bit ammo intensive. You have to kill 4 giant side hoppers. Can take a lot of damage there as well. But there's multiple ways to get to this room. We've got an elevator here to a sub area called Jungle's Heart, which luckily still has the same music. And we get to visit the Decora here. It's a little bit of a puzzle here. Don't think we've done this type of puzzle yet in the hack so far, but there are custom gate switches. You have to light up all of the buttons to open the gate that they're attached to, which is the middle one here. So you have to do this to free the Decora, and it'll shine spark these blocks for you.
I think I still made the
And,
bad cycle, but didn't fall high enough for the bad cycle.
All right, malodorous recess. This room stinks.
This is the best joke in the run.
Okay, we've got a Crocomire fight, and Speed Booster is just sitting on the ground here. Most people will not go left at the start of a Crocomire fight, so you don't find it, but the solution is to Shine Spark Crocomire to knock it into the acid. And there's like little hints throughout, like the logbook will kind of hint at what you're supposed to do. There's speed blocks at the far end that will like sort of hint you as to what to do. It's a neat aha moment.
Oops.
Speed Booster is the main draw here. Space Jump is technically optional, but it's so good for movement that we're going to be grabbing it.
We just received another $10 donation from Mooncues saying, hadn't gotten a chance to donate yet, but better late than never. Congrats to all the runners and the GOC crew for another amazing event. Thank you, Mooncues.
Thanks for the donut.
So Speed Booster locks the room leading to Space Jump. Space Jump is an interesting item in this, so you may remember the unknown item that we got earlier that had the Space Jump logo, except it was green. And we cannot use it yet, but it is... the Space Jump for this hack is finite. And... the first time you get it, you're only able to Space Jump once in the air, and you have to wait for it to refresh. But with the unknown item we got earlier, it's actually called a Space Jump Boost. It'll give us 1 extra jump. There are 8 Space Jump Boosts total in the hack for a total of 9 Space Jumps you'll be able to do without refreshing. It is on a timer as well, so landing isn't enough to reset it. So you see the 2 green vertical lines on the right side of the HUD. That is the Space Jump
Charges
indicator.
Yeah. No, that's the hardest strat.
It's unfortunate. This room is really cool if you get the strat. Like a space jump weave you can do. There's also a D boost, but I think with 2 space jumps you can just do the weave.
I didn't get the ice skating glitch I was hoping to.
Another thing about the space jump timer is the more space jumps you have, the faster
Oh,
they
that's
refresh
bad.
towards the end. So, in like 100%, for example, when you get all the space jump boosts, they refresh obscenely quickly, and you're barely limited at all. But only having one or two at the start, you're pretty limited in how often you can use it. This room, there's a specific jump that the devs kind of calculated to be able to break that bomb wall. Very nice.
And got the space jumps in the crab room after.
That is way harder.
Yeah, yeah.
Crab room.
Then the
Also,
big fancy
impossible
jump.
T-boost, no pressure. You got it. Oh my goodness.
I never get that in runs. In practice, 100% of the time. In runs,
That's so
that just
funny.
made it a 1%, like from 0.
So funny because I'm pretty consistent at the jump, but I failed it in my marathon run, and you got it. I guess you get to stick it to me. So we're going into the Sky Temple. You're supposed to go up the right elevator, but we are going up the left to backdoor it instead. There's another Dark Visor check that we'll be skipping here, basically. So we're going to actually be doing a manual soap killer here for the first time, trying to get this pixel perfect on Morph to try and backdoor this. It's not the easiest thing to do. It is the frame perfect on Morph, even if you have a normalized setup for it. But it looks like and like you have to like hope that you got it and then do the wiggles. And we got it first try, basically. First try that you felt like committing to it anyways.
Yeah, I
It's
always
like,
counted like tries as opening the menu to take off gravity boots.
So we're also taking cold damage here, so there's a bit of pressure going on. You take cold damage at a very slow rate compared to heat, so it's supposed to be like a bit more obvious that you're intended to do cold runs in this. But we were just gonna backdoor straight to the Varia suit.
I missed it.
And yeah, so this is the second suit upgrade instead of the first, and unlike pretty much every other form of Super Metroid out there, the Varia palette overwrites the gravity palette. And Varia suit protects from cold and heat in this. Still does not protect from lava. Yeah, we're just gonna head out of here. So the reason that we backdoor this is, one, it's much faster, and two, it skips a Dark Visor check in the form of Fantoon. Twist to the Fantoon fight that's supposed to be blocking this is that it does not actually materialize until you switch visors to try and look at it. So we turned off gravity boots for the aforementioned intended gravity boots puzzle coming up. You want the menu on a down elevator if possible. It saves 48 frames on the transition because for whatever reason, if you menu on an elevator, the transition happens when Samus's feet hit the edge of the screen instead of her going all the way off screen. And we've got this this fall fast essentially puzzle here for an energy tank. This energy tank is just like basically on the way to where we're going to go, and it's really helpful. And we're going to be trying a difficult speed booster trick here to get Temp Blue Suit to fall through these. Oh my goodness, yes, very nice. That's really difficult.
I do it like really slow, so it's a little bit easier, but it's still like it's not something I get all the time.
It's definitely not free. Okay, so here there was a Dark Visor switch that you're supposed to hit to open this gate,
here.
And since we do not have Dark Visor, we cannot hit it. So we have to do a super sync
doesn't
to
feel
get past
right.
this gate.
That does.
Most of the high jump setups for normalization use a 4-tile high space to normalize it. Oh.
Okay.
All right.
That's scary. I could just fall out of bounds if I do anything wrong there.
Yeah, there's a soft lock risk to that.
And
It's
that
assault
literally would
bombers
have been
almost-
run over.
Yeah. So yeah, that one is very awkward because of the. Are you gonna get this? Oh, nice. It's a nice strat.
Whoops, overshot a little bit though.
That one is just awkward also because you're in a 3-tile space and you have to turn high jump off to get the setup to work in there, and you have to count your turnarounds very carefully so you don't fall all the way through the floor. And then like once you're stuck in the floor, you have to make sure to not be holding an angle button, not like press any direction, and just input a jump. And it's kind of counterintuitive to do that when you're holding angle for most of the turnarounds.
Literally the last practice run I did before this, I fell through the floor there. I was like, okay, well, good practice.
I honestly I think that's gonna happen. Like I feel like it's the type of thing that's gonna happen no matter how much you practice it. It's
Nice.
one of those a nice spring ball over the key hunter here. Those red key hunters are perfectly equivalent to lower Norfair key hunters, so we'd be taking 100 damage from them. I didn't mention various suits damage reduction, but it adds another 25%, which stacks, so we have 50% total damage reduction right now.
Well, there's the proof that it
Unfortunately-
does 100 damage.
Yeah, there you go. Didn't get the short charge past that key hunter. You have to time it with shooting the dust enemy as well. This area is called the Hive. This is a heated area. You can get down here before getting the various suit, and you'll find out that the heat does quite a bit of damage. Didn't quite get the X Games gold, unfortunately, but it was not a bad room in general.
Yeah, it definitely could have gone worse.
It's a nice Castlevania music in the Fire Temple. Pretty laggy with the pirates here. We're going to be getting the Ice Beam here, and this room you had to be kind of careful of too. There's 3 red key hunters in here.
I screwed it up.
One of the common strats here is to do a short charge into like either space jump or like speedball bounce kind of thing to get through them. Got
Clever.
the Ice Beam.
I'm gonna say clever placement near the ice beam in the fire temple. Oh boy. Ow. A little sloppy, but we're alive. That's the important part.
Mm-hmm. And there's a farm in the upcoming room as well.
I'm gonna forego this farm, but I'm gonna be getting the one a little bit later.
At the enemy Sean just killed is called a Garen. It's a custom enemy from Fusion that they made a custom version for this hack. And in Fusion, I believe there's a bunch of different types of colors of Garens that are killed by different things like power bombs and speed booster and super missiles and such. But all of the ones in Subversion need specifically Ice Beam to be able to kill them with some type of missile. So that's your Ice Beam gate here. And now that we're in kind of the back parts of the run, we're basically setting up here to get the items necessary to go back to the spaceport. In a casual playthrough, this involves doing a bit of a larger sequence for you get Ice Beam and power bombs to be able to get to Grapple Beam, and then you also go to the geothermal energy plant to turn off the power. So I hadn't mentioned this before, but there's a bunch of lasers throughout this hack called Verdite lasers, and they power certain gates and stuff in the planet, and they block off certain areas because they act like spikes, basically. So one of the big like story beats in this hack is you're eventually supposed to get to the geothermal energy plant and turn off the power, and that turns off all of the laser functionality throughout the planet, essentially. It lets you get to the part of the pirate lab that has an elevator back to the spaceport. But in any percent, we are able to skip turning off the power, and we're also able to skip grapple beam. So we basically just need ice beam and power bombs. So we got ice beam. We're on our way to power bombs here. This area is called the Verdite Mine. Stone Tower music for Red Tower, apparently. Are you getting the mining cache e-tank? No?
No.
We're gonna farm at the space jump boost. Okay, there's a cycle skip in this this room. It's pretty tough. Did not get it, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's no audio or visual cue really to go for it. At least not that I know of.
Yeah, I try and do like an internal like count for it. It's really hard to describe. But yeah, home to a bunch of shack tools here. This room specifically, Raging Pit, is supposed to act as your like most difficult to bypass gate for the various. You're supposed to take a long time in this room waiting for shack tools, but we can just super sync through this. That's a very easy setup. It uses the free slope killer setup that we saw to get early supers, where you just get force crouched inside a 2-tile space. That's a free way to get slope killer. It's not frame perfect at all. It's very easy, and then all you have to do is turn gravity boots off, do a turnaround, and then turn them back on and continue during turnarounds.
Yeah,
So now we're in mag.
I was gonna say this is the aforementioned farm.
Farm.
I'm
Yeah,
so
there
bad at
is
farming with bombs.
There is a space jump boost in this room as well, so part of the justification for detouring here. You can get power bombs and ice beam in the other order as well. There's some different like any percent, 100% route ideas that do that, but not having ice beam denies you access to that farm room. That makes some of the health management tougher here. In Magma Lake, we were supposed to go fight Gold Chorizo to lower the lava. There's 2 stages of lowering the lava here, and we're going to skip them both. So most runners would do a moonfall here straight to the bottom to immediately claim power bombs. But since Sean and I do not use moonwalk, we have an alternate way to do this that's not all that slow. A little bit of a lava bath here, and getting to the tube that you normally would clip through. And we're doing a slope killer setup in the tube to grab the power bombs beneath it. Normally beyond this tube, casually, you would go through and trigger a second Chozo statue for the second stage of lowering the lava. But because we didn't lower the first stage, each of the statues are kind of progressive, so very nice. Super sync. So if we lower the lava here at the second stage, since we didn't lower the one at the first stage, it would still only lower it to the halfway point, and it wouldn't be that effective, and we'd have a lot of trouble getting through the room still. So we're just gonna gun it.
Getting hit by that mini Disquita is very scary. Like, had I not been so diligent to pick up drops before doing the super sync, it could have meant death.
Yeah, that's a nice thing about like super syncing the tube there though is like because you come from the room where it's supposed to be inside the tube, you have like sort of coyote frames, or like coyote time sort of, before the game realizes that you're now in the lava after breaking the tube. Makes you able to get out only taking like 200-ish damage optimally. But the lava just does so much damage per frame. It's pretty scary. So here is the point at which, casually, you would want to go to the geothermal energy plant. Start solving the puzzles there, but...
oh no. God, my ammo is not looking too hot. I mean, it'll be fine. I'll just farm extra zeros.
Ammo starts getting tight here because we have to blow open a tube with another power bomb, and just like power bombs cost 10 ammo, so it's pretty intensive at this point. We got to blow up another tube to get where we're going, and we have to deal with Metroids, which I believe you started power bombing them.
Yes.
Are you going to take the health refill here as well?
Absolutely.
But yeah, so we're going to go to the spaceport, even though the power is still on. So we're going to do a trick to skip this laser.
Oh, no, thanks for the drop.
I don't know what's up with that. I swear that particular zero has a different drop rate. Because normally it's like near guaranteed of the 10 drop here. It's supposed to be equivalent to like the power bomb drop in vanilla.
Okay, you got the.
Yeah, we're going back to the pirate lab to laser skip to the spaceport. So the laser that's blocking the elevator to the spaceport is basically a ceiling. Oh, this room sucks, by the way.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that I want to just get this on the way in, even though you can't do the cool jump, just because it's so much harder to get.
There's a really tough strat at going through the cellar here too, with the space jump speed boosting.
Yeah, I didn't get it. The worst part is you pretty much, if you mess it up, you're gonna burn all your space jumps and then fall down the.
But yeah, for the upcoming laser skip, we have a laser blocking the way that basically functions as a ceiling. We can actually do a spike suit through it. So if you're not familiar with spike suit from vanilla Super Metroid speedrunning, it is a 2-frame trick into a 1-frame trick where you unmorph at the same time as you hit a spike block. And the spikes give you more knockback frames than most other damage sources, and if you input a shine spark at the very end of the knockback window, you can store a shine spark. We're not really interested in the storing the shine spark part here, but what we are interested in is like the animation for the spike suit bumps you up a little bit before doing the shine spark, and that is enough to actually clip through this laser. So.
Come on.
Sean actually turned off speedball here so that you can use a press jump to unmorph.
There it is.
Okay.
Still have good health.
Oh yeah, like in addition to like you can get walled at this trick for time just because it's fairly precise. Actually, it's a 2 into 2 frame because you're allowed to get the bad frame for the second half.
Yeah.
This application because we're not interested in storing the shine spark anywhere. But the health can become an issue pretty fast if you don't get it quickly.
Yeah, the crystal flip unfortunately won't be happening, but I imagine you do the same ammo route if you were doing that. And I guess you could theoretically skip Ice Beam if you did so.
Yeah. So we're supposed to have Grapple Beam here. Back in the spaceport, and to get to the areas that were accessible at the start of the game to get some new items, we are supposed to have Grapple Beam. The unique functionality of Grapple Beam in Subversion is there are these like hanging grapple switches, kind of pulleys, I guess. They're basically a custom enemy. You grapple onto them and they'll open a gate nearby once you're hanging all the way down. So you're supposed to do that to open a gate here. We do not have grapple beam, so we have to get around this gate somehow. And to do that, we are going to babysit this wheel for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Unfortunately. So, if the host has anything they want to plug, talk about, marathon related, now is a perfect time. There's going to be another 2-minute wait later, so if you don't have anything now, prepare something for then.
All right. Well, we have no new donations, but I just want to say that we for both the for two of the donations that we received, they put the incentive towards runner's choice. So I'll list them off for you right now.
Sure.
We do have 2 bid wars left. One is the Luffy on the Fortress of Doom hero name bid war. We've got Racco leading the pack with $500 towards it, followed by the name Mal with 130, the name Pooh for 75, Strizer with no vowels at $20, and Steve at $20. We also have Blaster Master Zero category bid war, any percent, which is at $131. And the other category is EX character Gunvolt any percent at 156.18. So that's still a close match.
What was the last 2 there?
Blaster Master Zero category bid war any percent, or the Gunvolt any percent. I believe it's a different character.
Oh, okay. Has the runner expressed which one they'd like to show off more, or is it just completely up to the...
I believe it is completely up to the bid war. I don't think there's a preference.
I see. Well,
That I'm
Gunvolt
aware
sounds
of.
cool, so let's do that.
All right.
So to clip past this gate, we have to freeze the wheel in a particular position and jump through the ceiling.
That's what we babysat it for. It's not too bad. It's like 3 pixels you get. Interestingly enough, if you do have the stored Shine Spark, you actually get a lot more pixels because you can the Shine Spark will clip you up and through more easily.
Oh, I didn't consider that. But yeah, it's like you really don't want to mess that up, though.
Yeah.
It's scary for that reason. It's not the most precise thing, but yeah. So I believe you're looking into some setups recently for this room to hit all the Metroids with the power bomb quicker, taking less damage.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it's supposed to go.
Yeah, it's very nice. And we got the Metroid suit, which the devs apparently had this. I think they coded this back in 2017, so it was long before Dread came out, and it's like it's a little bit different from the Dread Metroid suit as far as it's not supposed to be like that Samus turns into a Metroid, but this suit was made. This suit was like part of the weaponry the space pirates were making, combining Metroids and Verdite. So the suit is made of Verdite as well, and one of the functions of it is that you can just pass through Verdite lasers and also use the Hyper Beam while you're inside a Verdite laser.
Oops. Yeah, as well as sparks, I guess. Electric sparks can be channeled into Hyper Beam.
Yeah, that one was tougher to figure out.
You pretty much have to read the logbook to know that that's a functionality. Or, like, when you pass through the Vulner Zebtite things, sometimes you'll see the rainbow happen. You'll taste the rainbow, as they say.
Taste the rainbow. So we're going back to the GFS Daphne here with Metroid suit in tow, and that will allow us access to other part of it. We're actually, I believe we're going to take a pit stop here to visit the Aurora unit that we skipped earlier.
Not anymore.
Basically, oh, okay. This is what the increased ammo is for.
Yep.
I see. Okay. Alright, we're going to leave that for later in the run, then. So Metroid Suit allows you access to the bridge behind this laser, and you can now crash the spaceport.
You can lag the spaceport too.
These are like the two laggiest streams in the whole game.
Oh my god. Any mistake there too. What I was trying to do was jump up and damage boost off the falling ceiling tiles. That was one of those that I just got damaged by. But I jumped too late and then got stuck, and the longer you're kind of fumbling around in that room, the worse it is because of the extra time you're spending in the extreme lag.
Yeah, it's almost like making mistakes underwater too.
Yep.
Just amplifies your time loss.
I ran into a door in a hack that has instant doors. Sick.
I think it feels so bad. I completely forgot to talk about that, but the doors in this are changed too. The door collision gets deleted as soon as you open it instead of having to wait. Like, it's actually, I almost feel like if you're familiar with like the run ahead feature on Arturic, it feels like you can pass through doors even if you like shoot the door after bonking it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. GG, or is it? Speaking of saving the animals, I actually just literally can't in this run. I'd have to have spent 5+ minutes extra figuring that out in how I would save the animals in an 80% run. It's even difficult to figure out in a 100% run where you do turn the power on and off already.
Yeah. We'd have to go to the energy plant, which we just don't ever do in any percent. Like one of the really big parts of doing laser skip in any percent. It's not just that you can get to the spaceport and crash the ship a little bit earlier, but it's also that you do not need to go through the sequence afterwards. You have to go back and turn the power back on. So we've got the Metroid suit now. It also protects you from lava, and you're supposed to use that to go all the way back to Magma Lake, go down into the lava to vulnerate the base of the volcano to get to the other side of the energy plant to turn the power back on. There's a whole sequence, and we're just gonna skip that because the power is already on, because we never turned it off. We're also unequipping Metroid suit here because as you might imagine, it makes you very susceptible to cold damage. It does actually, like, so each suit in this game, spoiler now that we know that there's 3 suits, each of them just they stack as a 25% damage reduction in all 3 of them. So turning Metroid suit off here is like a bit of a trade-off because now we take double damage that we would otherwise, but we're not taking cold damage. It's more cold damage than you would take suitless. And it actually, like, if you were to turn Various Suit off as well, Various Suit still has an effect. But here we're going to a Ridley fight that we never encountered prior. You're supposed to see this Ridley fight on the way to getting Various Suit, and he's still invulnerable at that point, and you're supposed to figure out the escape route for this room. But since we have access to the Hyper Beam via Metroid suit, we can actually kill him on this encounter. This fight is pretty awkward still because the room is larger than normal, and you have to. You can only fire the Hyper Beam when you're inside a Verdite source, which is these sparks in
They're dead.
the air. Metroid suit also causes you, because you're in a cold room, it causes you to take damage during the fight, so it makes this fight rather complicated. So Ridley is blocking the big end game required item for this hack, the screw attack. We have to do a bit of a switch puzzle here. There's a specific combination to this that you have to figure out. There's some ways to also optimize it by hitting multiple switches at once. Basically, all 5 of those switches control mirrors that change the angles that these lasers bounce off, so you have to get them to bounce off into all the gates to open them. Yeah, screw attack is required to get through screw attack blocks, like we are doing in this room to get out. And we're going to head towards the end of the game now. So the end game condition is, I mentioned like a long time ago that the pirates took over the GFS Daphne because it had antimatter warheads. We have released the docking clamps on the spaceport. Both the cargo ship and the GFS Daphne have landed onto the planet at different locations. And so we go visit the crash site of the GFS Daphne and go find the antimatter warheads and use them to blow up the planet, which blows up the pirate lab, which completes our objective.
Almost there.
I saw Stryzer saying, requesting a patch to make that one wheel for the ice clip and the spaceport move twice as fast. And it just occurred to me that if you played on hard mode, the wheel would move faster because enemies are sped up in hard mode.
This is true.
Oh, speaking of hard mode, actually, that reminds me, I should probably explain the end game boss fight a little bit. So it is basically the Aurora unit is like a lore kind of term borrowed from Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. It is essentially Mother Brain. It is a little bit modified. But essentially we're supposed to do a Mother Brain fight at the end. And normally you'd want Charge Beam or like enough ammo to defeat it entirely. We're skipping Charge Beam in this run. And that is the reason we have skipped all the damage amps, is because they just don't help other than increasing your beam damage. The way that we're actually gonna do this fight is so for once you hit the equivalent to the Mother Brain 3 phase, there is a laser that is gonna pop up during the fight that gives you access to the Hyper Beam. Now we still have to get through the Mother Brain 2 phase, which requires doing 18,000 damage. Or sorry, 18,000? Yeah, 18,000 damage. To get that damage in, we have to make use of another laser that can appear in the room separately. I'll have time to explain this in a bit, so I'll have plenty of time. So, first part, we were doing the Mother Brain 1 sequence that we were supposed to do at the very start of the game. This is what the gate glitch bypassed, and you can imagine that all these Zevatites and breaking the tank and stuff is just gonna murder your ammo at the start of the game. So, good reason to delay it until now.
Counting is hard.
But the other laser that can appear to the fight is actually tied to the escape timer. I believe it starts appearing when the timer hits 7:26.
7:25. Or maybe 7:26 flat.
See, yeah, that's what I meant. So 10-minute escape timer here for the end game, and yeah, we've kind of figured like runners at first were getting charge beam, which is in Spore Field, and there's like a crazy super sync to get that a bit faster, but you also had to like route in a bunch of damage amps through the run to make your beam not super weak, and we just some of us tried out testing the theory of what if you just wait the 2 minutes at the end of the game so that you could just use the hyper beam in the fight, and you just skip all the damage amps in the run. Don't worry about your beam damage at all. And I don't know that any like super in-depth timing has been done, but I think we've just found running this route to generally be faster.
Yeah, we got nothing to do for another minute and a half, pretty much. Unfortunately.
It is good that the acid like stops rising in this room as far as like screen shaking and lagging the game goes, because you want to get here at a point where you're just letting the in-game timer run with nothing inhibiting it. So you also want to, you have like a few extra missiles, like you can get like a multiple of 10 missiles in that'll take off one hyper beam shot. So if you went to the fight a little bit earlier than 7:26 to account for the animation of Brother Brain rising, and maybe getting some missiles in if you feel like it.
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna forego that because I'd rather just start shooting hyper beams as soon as possible, and I know the timing to enter. I usually don't actually have enough ammo to shoot 10 extra missiles, so I'm not gonna risk anything because the Mother Brain fight is pretty wacky in that catch up will be happening throughout, pretty much, and it is easy, it's non-trivial to survive this.
That is true, yeah. So when we hit Mother Brain Phase 3, there's no like baby Metroid cutscene and stuff in this. It just like kind of transitions right into Mother Brain 3. You'll notice that happening when the second laser appears. That'll be the start of the Mother Brain 3 fight. But she is still doing her normal attacks during all that, like the meatballs and the stuff. Yeah, there's the start of Mother Brain 3. 18 hyper beam shots for Mother Brain 2, 36 for Mother Brain 3, and she's still doing her normal attacks and catch up and stuff during those, so much scarier than your vanilla Mother Brain 3.
Okay. Not the worst.
It was serviceable. The other thing is, like, we'd prefer to have, I think 13 or 14 ammo left at the end of the run for, we want to power bomb the bomb blocks coming out this way, just because it's faster. And there is a few pirates in the endgame that can get in the way that we would prefer to missile out. I think that was a
Impossible
fairly
jump.
standard escape. Oh yeah, that I actually hate that room.
It looks so innocuous, but
I hate it more on the way in.
yeah.
Because that block, the rumble in the ground is really close to the door, and it's really hard to jump over it. But yeah, so compared to the run Stryzer did for I think, was it last year's GOC or was it the fall? Yeah, it was last year's fall GOC.
Yes.
We skipped Dark Visor since then due to the finding of Super Sync. Well, the finding of human viable super sync in this hack using specifically gravity boots. Because there are really crazy ways you can do it in vanilla that are not human viable. But it's really changed. It's changed a lot about like kind of the landscape of speedrunning this ROM hack.
Take 2. This one's harder because you can accidentally screw attack. Oh, that's the first time I've ever done it twice in the same run.
I swear,
All right.
it's so crazy because like you're always the one that I hear complaining about this damage boost.
I've never got twice in the same run. Absolutely not.
Okay, so we're coming up on time pretty soon.
The run was a success.
Yeah.
I'm basing it entirely on those damage boosts.
You hit. I think you hit every first try super sync as far as like opening the menu. I think maybe not the transfer station one. Can't remember.
GG time.
Time. GG. Very nice run.
I wonder how I did.
115?
115.34.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we got 115.34 on there.
Wow, so my PB's 115.06. This would have beaten my PB before a week ago. Yeah, I'm very happy with that.
That is such a good marathon run, honestly. Like with all the stuff that could go wrong. Very, very nice job.
Thanks for the GG.
That's a fantastic run.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. Glad I could share the updated version of any percent with y'all. Thanks to Ajder for doing the commentary. This would have been a much worse run if I had to do all the talking myself.
Yeah.
And enjoy the rest of the marathon, everyone.
Nice run, babe.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Everybody stick around. We're going to be back real soon with Padron doing Bud Spencer and Terrence Hill, Slaps and Beans, any percent easy.